So the next topic, what we have to discuss. So checked exception, unchecked exception, the most valuable concept. So if you are able to understand this concept, then the remaining exception and cinema will become easy for you. Okay, this is because this area compulsory you should get complete picture. In the next session somewhere, throws keyword. Have you observed? Throws keyword purely meant for checked exceptions only. If you don't know what is the checked exception, then throws keyword is nothing but you can't understand easily. Next, so customized exceptions, user defined exceptions are there. Purely talks about these things only. That's why make sure which are checked, which are unchecked, what is checked, what is unchecked exception. You should have clear idea, right? Are you getting? Can you tell what is the difference between checked exception and unchecked exception? The most valuable question, repeatedly asked question in the interview room. Do you know what is the difference between checked and unchecked exception? In the exception area, sir, can you tell only 3 questions? Compulsory in every interview these things should be there. Can you tell any important, most important question in the interview room from exception and concept? Is nothing but then my priority 1 is nothing but what is the difference between checked exception and unchecked exception. Priority 2, second question, what is the difference between final, finally, finalize? Are you getting that? Okay, this is the most valuable thing. Repeatedly asked questions in the interview room. Compulsory you people should have clarity, right? Okay, sir, can you tell what is checked exception or what is unchecked exception? What is the difference between checked and unchecked exception? Yes, can I use the word? Checked exceptions are the exceptions which occurs yet compile time. Unchecked exceptions are the exceptions which occurs yet run time. Correct or not? Ayo, checked exceptions will occur at compile time. Unchecked exceptions will occur at run time. Correct or not? Okay. Do you know majority of the people, luckily you are not feeling, majority of the people are going to feel checked exceptions are the exceptions which occurs at compile time, unchecked exceptions which occurs at runtime. No, 100% pakka this statement is wrong. Okay, whether it is a checked exception or unchecked exception, every exception should occur at runtime only. There is no chance of occurring any exception at compile time. Compile time errors are syntactical mistakes what we are getting. Are you getting? Syntactical mistakes what we are getting is nothing but these are not exceptions. That's why whether it is checked or unchecked, compulsory that exception should occur yet runtime only. There is no chance of occurring any exception yet compile time. Okay, well. Sir, can you tell then what is the checked exception? Are you? What is the checked exception? What is unchecked exception? Okay, just take a bit special care to understand this concept. I hope you people completed 10th class. Are you? 10th completed, right? Or direct SCJP? No, 10th completed, right? So, do you know, in your lifetime, first time you wrote public exams is 10th class only. Correct, right? First time. First time public exams in your lifetime you wrote 10th class only. 7th class is a namesake public exams. Okay, can you please show at least one student who failed in 7th class? At least one student who failed in 7th class? Never. Okay, this is, but I can show hundreds of people who failed in 10th class. Are you getting? Real public exams are 10th class exams, 7th class namesake public exams. Okay, like, so I hope you people remember those golden days. 10th class days are golden days because we are not having much responsibilities. Just go to the school, read, that's all. But now, so we have a number of responsibilities. If on the festival day, if you want to travel to your native place, at your native place, the neighbor is going to ask her, when you will get the job? Already course got completed. Then there are some people, you know, hey, why you didn't go to the native place? Why you didn't went to your native place? So because all days are there, 4 days, 5 days. So sir, how I can go to my native place? Sir, everyone is asking when you will get the job. 1 year back you completed your BTech or MTech or MCA. When you will get the job? Like, so with my family members, I'm not facing much problem, sir. I'm facing much problem with my neighbors. Everyone is asking, hey, when you will get the job? When will be your marriage? Only 2 answers, sir. Only 2 questions. I'm not in a position. That's why until getting the job I decided I don't want to go to my native place, or like there are some people who spend in Amirpet more than 3 years just because of this constraint. Do you know? Okay, this is there are some students who spend 3 years in Amirpet without going to native place just because of this reason. Okay, like anyway. But when compared with these days, 10th class days are golden days, I'm sure, because at that time no one is going to ask when will be your marriage or when you will get the job. No such type of responsibility kind of questions, right? Now assume. Now, so 10th class exams, first time public exams, everyone is a bit panic, including our parents also. Correct, right? 10th class is nothing, most of the people are going to feel life turning point with respect to education. That's why, so everyone is a bit panic with respect to the parents also, even parents also. What happened is, that day is the first exam, maybe local language paper will be there, so first exam is. So we are ready to go to the ready for the exam. We have to ready to start. But do you know, before starting at our house, n number of formalities by default will be there. Are you getting? So ID card and pen, okay, hall ticket and pen, special puja should be required. Next, and after that, coconut, okay, and a special agreement with the god saying if I will get 500 marks, then I will come to, okay, 7 hills and okay, this is so like special agreement we are going to keep with the god. Then the god is going to tell, okay, I will take care, please continue, like god will tell. Next term you are ready to start. Next your mother or sister is coming, edur ravatam antam kada in Telugu, sentimental kind of thing. All these things by default will be there at first exam day. Even your brother or otherwise your father may come up to exam hall also sometimes. Do you know, first exam sake, or maybe second exam, third exam appetizer, at least first exam your father or otherwise your brother will come, or at least your mother will come until exam hall. Is nothing but like this type of things, because it is a very important stage in our life, 10th class public exams, right? What happened is, you are ready to start for the exam. Then immediately your mother may ask. So your mother may ask, Arey, have you took all ticket or not? Can you please cross check? Like, are you getting? Your mother most of the time says she is going to ask, Arey, have you took all ticket or not? Can you please cross check? Then immediately you can check your pocket. Yeah, I took all ticket. This is like you showed. So if really you are missing all ticket, when will be the problem? The problem at runtime, examiner won't yellow inside. Are you getting that? Into the exam hall. Sir, if the mother is going to check at the beginning, at runtime, my execution of the program will be smooth or not? Yes. So hall ticket missing exception is a very common exception. The mother is going to ask her, hey, there may be a chance of hall ticket missing exception. Can you please cross check whether you took hall ticket or not? Is nothing but like the mother can ask. That's so this is, so if we are checking at the beginning, at runtime my execution of the program will become very smooth. Are you getting right? Next, so okay, you should, I took all ticket, no problem at all, like you convey to your mother. Then the mother can ask a second, Arey, while writing exam there may be a chance of pen not working. Pen not working exception is a very common exception. So do you have extra pen or not? Can you please cross check? Like, then immediately you show 4 pens. Yes, I am taking extra 4 pens, not required to worry. Like, if the mother will check all these things at the beginning, at runtime, my execution of the program will be very smooth. Are you getting? The exceptions which are checked by mother for smooth execution of the program at runtime, these exceptions are by default considered checked exceptions, right? Are you able to understand? So who is going to play mother role here is compiler is going to play. Are you getting? The exceptions which are checked by compiler for smooth execution of the program at runtime, these exceptions are by default considered as what? Checked exceptions, right? I hope you people can aware. Sir, what are checked exceptions, right? The exceptions which are checked by compiler for smooth execution of the program at runtime, these exceptions are by default considered as checked exceptions. I hope you people aware. Now make sure, sir, here. So let me write a simple program so that you can aware what is the checked exceptions, right? Now I'm taking Sir, class test. I will execute this code. Observe. Class test. Public static void main string array. Public static void main string array action. Now my target is. Now my target is I'm taking print writer pw is equal to new print writer of abc.txt. Print writer pw is equal to new print writer of abc.txt. pw.println of hello. Sir, I want to write hello to abc.txt is my target. And the print writer is available inside IO package. Import java.io.star also I'm taking. Sir, this is. Now my target is, okay, well, I'm asking, compiler, can you please compile this code? Compiler, can you compile this code? Then immediately compiler is going to give left and right. Durga, I can't compile this code. Hey, what is the problem? Then the compiler is going to tell, Durga, you are trying to write hello to abc.txt. At runtime, there may be a chance of abc.txt may not available, and there may be a chance of file not found exception occurs. But there may be a possibility. It doesn't mean compulsory that exception is going to occur. But there may be a chance of file not found exception. If a file not found exception occurs, how you are going to handle, let me know, then only I can compile. Are you getting? There may be a chance of file not found exception. If a file not found exception occurs, how you can handle, please let me know, then only I can compile this code. Are you getting that? Okay, this compiler is going to tell very decently, boss, there is a possibility, if you are not preparing mentally how to handle, then at runtime you may face big problem. That's why first show how you are going to handle, then only I can compile this code. Do you know exact compile time error? Observe this one. Unreported exception, java.io.file not found exception, java.io.file not found exception, okay, must be caught or declared to be thrown. Is nothing but like compile time error. By default we are going to get. You are getting the point, right? Okay, this must be caught or declared to be thrown is the compile time error we are going to get. Can you please read this compile time error? Unreported exception, java.io.file not found exception, must be caught or declared to be thrown. It doesn't mean file not found exception occurs. Durga, you didn't report about file not found exception. But there is a possibility you should caught or declared to be thrown. Is nothing but like compile time error we are going to get. Are you getting? So Durga, there may be a chance of hall ticket missing exception. If hall ticket missing exception is going to come up, you can handle, first let me know. Then only I am allow you to go for the exam. There may be a chance of pen not working exception. If a pen not working exception occurs, how you can handle? Let me show the solution, then I am allow you, because these are very common problems. Durga, there may be a chance of file not found exception. If a file not found exception occurs, how you can handle? Let me know, then only I can compile. Is nothing but like compiler is going to tell. So for frequently occurred exceptions, compiler will object whether you are handling or not. These type of exceptions are by default considered as what? Checked exceptions, right? Are you able to understand what are checked exceptions? The exceptions which are checked by compiler for smooth execution of the program at runtime. These exceptions are by default considered as what? Checked exceptions, right? Let me compile and let me show this compile time error. Here, observe this one. Sir, I am taking 1 minute. Okay, here just let me take, sir, class test, and here I am taking print writer pw is equal to new print writer of abc.txt like. Next pw.println of hello, like I am taking, Under this SOP statement anyway not required for me. And the print writer is available in which package ana? IO. Import java.io.star like this I'm taking, right? Import Java. So let me save this code as a tester.java. That's all, tester.java. Let me compile this program now. Here we have done immediately compile time error by default we are going to get. Okay, Java C tester.java. Compiler, can you please compile this code? Then compiler is going to tell Durga, there may be a chance of file not found exception. How you can handle? First let me know, then only I can compile. Like have you done? Can you please read this compile time error? Unreported exception java.io.file not found exception. Java.io.file not found exception must be caught or declared to be thrown is the compile time error we are getting. Sir, it doesn't mean file not found exception occurs. Are you getting? It doesn't mean file not found exception occurs. So what is a checked exception? The exceptions which are checked by compiler for smooth execution of the program at runtime. These exceptions are by default considered checked exceptions, right? So in our program, if there is any chance of rising checked exception, compulsory programmer should require to handle either by try catch or by throws keyword. I will discuss anyway. Must be caught means what? Use a try catch, or declared to be thrown means you have to use throws keyword. We should handle, otherwise the code won't compile time error by default we are going to get. It doesn't mean file not found exception occurs. You know, most of the people by seeing this line unreported exception java.io.file not found exception must be caught or declared to be thrown, by seeing this line most of the people are going to fail. The exceptions which occurs at compile time, these exceptions are called checked exception. The exceptions which occur at runtime are called unchecked exception. Arithmetic exception never come at compile time, that's why it is unchecked. File not found exception occurs at compile time, that's why it is the checked. No, here compiler is not telling file not found exception occurs. Compiler is telling there may be a chance of file not found exception, you didn't report about this exception. Observe the terminology, right? Are you getting the point clear? Sir, can you tell what is checked exception? The exceptions which are checked by compiler for smooth execution of the program at runtime. These exceptions are by default considered as checked exceptions, right? In our program, if there is any chance of rising checked exception, compulsory we should handle, of course, either by try catch or by throws keyword. I will discuss soon. Either by try catch or by throws keyword, otherwise the code won't compile. Are you getting? Compile time error we are getting. Sir, can you give an example for checked exception? Can you please give an example for checked exception? Okay, in our scope, whatever we discussed, hall ticket missing exception, checked exception. Next, pen not working exception, checked exception, because these are very common exceptions. Third, file not found exception is the checked exception. Circuit exception, remote exception, SQL exception, right? There are several. Wherever throws followed by some exception, all these predefined exceptions are checked exceptions only. Throws followed by something is there, it is the checked exception only, right? Okay, at this point. Keep subheading checked exceptions versus unchecked exceptions. The most valuable concept, at least 5 stars you have to keep. Checked exceptions versus unchecked exceptions. Checked exceptions versus unchecked exceptions. Checked exceptions versus unchecked exceptions. Unchecked exceptions. You are the point. The exceptions which are checked by compiler, the exceptions which are checked by compiler, the exceptions which are checked by compiler, exceptions which are checked by compiler for smooth execution of the program, the exceptions which are checked by compiler for smooth execution of the program, the exceptions which are checked by compiler for smooth execution of the program, for smooth execution of the program, the exceptions which are checked by compiler for smooth execution of the program are called checked exceptions, are called checked exceptions, are called checked exceptions. Example, hall ticket missing exception, single word, don't give space in the middle. Hall ticket missing exception, hall ticket missing exception, hall ticket missing exception. Next, second one, pen not working exception, pen not working exception, pen not working exception, pen not working exception. Next, file not found exception, file not found exception, file not found exception, etc. File not found exception, etc. etc. Okay, are you getting? Next, in our program, if there is any chance of checked exception, sir, there is a chance of occurring checked exception, compulsory we should handle either by try catch or by throws keyword, otherwise the code won't compile. Correct or not? Okay, this is compile time error, boss. It doesn't mean file not found exception occurs, boss. There is a possibility, there is a chance where you are handling. First let me know, then only I can compile. Add next para. In our program, if there is a chance of, chance of rising checked exception, in our program, if there is a chance of rising checked exception, then compulsory we should handle, then compulsory we should handle that checked exception. Compulsory we should handle that checked exception within bracket. Compulsory we should handle that checked exception within bracket, either by try catch or by throws keyword. But anyway, we will discuss in the future all these things, not required to worry. Either by try catch or by throws keyword, bracket close. Either by try catch or by throws keyword, otherwise we will get compile time error. Okay, that's all. Sir, what is checked exception? What is the meaning? Is that clear for all of you, right? Okay, this is. But there are some exceptions which are not checked by compiler. Maybe very rarely occurred exceptions, or until runtime I don't know. Okay, this is. So there are some exceptions which are not checked by compiler. Those exceptions are by default considered as unchecked. Have you observed? Compiler not checked these exceptions, boss, whether you are handling or not. So the exceptions which are not checked by compiler, whether the programmer handling or not, these exceptions are by default considered as what? Unchecked exceptions, right? Now, sir, if I can take the same program, same program I am taking. So here my target SOP of 10/0 also I am taking. Assume that SOP of 10/0. Now I will ask, compiler, can you please compile this code? Immediately compiler will give left and right. Hey Durga, there may be a chance of rising file not found exception. How you can handle? Then what I did is, I kept throws file not found exception. Okay. Can you tell if the code will compile or not? Yes or no? I am keeping throws file not found exception I kept. Can you tell if the code is going to compile or not? Make sure compiler happily the code is going to compile, even though there is a chance of rising arithmetic exception. Sir, I am taking 10/0. There may be a chance of rising arithmetic exception, but compiler won't object. Happily compiler is going to compile, because compiler will check only file not found exception but not arithmetic exception. Arithmetic exception is the checked or unchecked? Unchecked exception, right? Are you getting? So now the code compiles. Okay, this is compile. Now observe this one. Here see, sir, I am taking SOP of 10/0 also. System.out.println 10/0 I am taking. SOP of 10/0. Now observe, compiler is always going to object about what? File not found exception, right? Now, sir, unreported exception, java.io.file not found exception, like what I have to take? Throws file not found, file not found exception. Not required to worry, I will explain what is the need of throws and so on. Just I am showing the basic idea purpose. Okay. Now let me compile. Anna, happily the code compiles fine. Array, there may be a chance of arithmetic exception, but why compiler is not objecting? Because compiler will check only file not found, but not arithmetic exception. Arithmetic exception is what? Unchecked exception, right? Now let me run this code. Let me run. Sir, really at runtime we got arithmetic exception, but compiler unable to identify this exception. Even though we are getting at runtime arithmetic, compiler unable to identify such type of exceptions are by default considered as what? Unchecked exceptions, right? Are you getting? There are some exceptions which are not checked by compiler, whether programmer handling or not. These exceptions are by default considered as what? Unchecked exceptions, right? Sir, can you give an example for unchecked exception? Arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, class cast exception, like you should aware. Sir, best example, your mother can ask, array, there may be a chance of all ticket missing exception. Have you took all ticket or not? Can you please cross check? Are you getting? Or if you miss all ticket missing exception occurs, compulsory you should aware how to get duplicate all ticket. Is nothing more. If you are getting all ticket missing exception, how you can handle? Let me know. Is nothing more. Then I can compile. Array, ma'am, I don't know how to handle. Array, no problem. 20 rupees you can pay in the office. Then they will issue a duplicate all ticket. You are not required to be panic. If I know that process at runtime, if really I miss my all ticket, no problem at all. I am in a position to handle that situation or not. Yes. Are you getting? So this same. Sir, pen not working exception. Sir, if pen not working exception occurs, I have already duplicate pen. Then with that I can able to run the show. Is nothing. So mother can ask, hall ticket missing exception may be a chance. Pen not working exception may be a chance. Best example exam. Array, exam started. You are writing the exam. You started writing the paper. You started writing the exam. Meanwhile, just beside you, there's a big bomb blast happening. Then how you can handle? The mother can ask this type of question. Array, there's a big bomb blast happening. How you can handle? Can you please spell out? The mother can ask this type of question to the exam student? No, never. Because the reason is, there may be a chance of bomb blast exception in the exam hall. Maybe a chance. But how many times it is possible, man? Out of 1 crore times, maybe one time. Very rarely occurred. Very rarely occurred exception, my mother not going to check or not required to check. Very rarely occurred out of 1 crore, one time. So in India, as of today, in the exam hall, bomb blast not reported. Okay, this is as of today. Maybe in the future, I don't know. But if we are keeping bomb in the classroom, may blast. Bomb, how it is aware, it is the temple or it is the masjid or otherwise it is the classroom. Compare. So my bomb doesn't aware. Wherever you are keeping, their blast is going to be happen. So but still the mother never going to ask. By mistake, if the mother asked, if a bomb blast exception occurs, how you can handle? Then so while writing, my mind is always nearby. There any bomb or not, something like. Definitely I will be the failed student in that exam. Correct or not? Okay, that's why there are some exceptions which are not checked by compiler, because maybe rarely occurred exception, or maybe until runtime we don't know. Such type of exceptions are by default considered as unchecked exceptions, right? Sir, bomb blast exception, is it a checked exception or unchecked exception? Unchecked exception. Hall ticket missing exception, checked exception or unchecked exception? Checked exception. Pen not working exception, checked exception. Arithmetic exception, unchecked exception. Clear for all of you that at this point? Yeah, at the point. Well, okay. So at the next para, next para. Okay. So at this theory, well, the exceptions which are not checked by compiler, 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 whether programmer handling or not checked by compiler, whether programmer handling or not, whether programmer handling or not, such type of exceptions are called 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 unchecked exceptions. Such type of exceptions are called unchecked exceptions. Such type of exceptions are called unchecked exceptions. Unchecked exceptions. Unchecked exceptions. Example. Arithmetic exception. Example. Arithmetic exception. Arithmetic exception. Arithmetic exception. Next, bomb blast exception. Single word, don't give space in the middle. Arithmetic exception, bomb blast exception, bomb blast exception, bomb blast exception, etc. Arithmetic exception, bomb blast exception, etc. Okay, that's all. Now the terminology is very, very clear for you people, right? Okay, so what is checked, what is unchecked? All of you are able to understand, right? But still, let me add one or two example so that you will get much clarity, right? Okay, here best example, here see. Suppose assume you require to travel to Vijayawada. Early morning at 4 o'clock, you have to start by car. Assume that you are alone traveling. Okay, this is in the car, you are alone traveling. Almost at 4 o'clock, you are ready to start. You are ready to start. Then your father also came down. Okay, this is from the house, came out. Then your father, just to give the send off. So your father, he also at early morning 4 o'clock, your father also wake up and he came nearer to the car. And you are ready to start the car. Then immediately the father may ask n number of questions. Can you please cross check whether diesel is there or not? Is nothing but like, if the diesel not there, don't depend on highway. Are you getting? Better to within the city only, better to full tank, better to do full tank. Otherwise, you may face a problem. At highway, maybe a chance of if the petrol bunks got closed, then you will be in the trouble. So, can you please cross check whether diesel is there or not? Are you getting? If a diesel not there, the problem at runtime or the problem at the beginning? The problem at runtime. If my father is going to check that one at the beginning, at runtime, my execution of the program will become very smooth. Are you getting that? Okay, this is. So, diesel completed exception is nothing but diesel not available exception is a checked exception because very common problem. Are you getting? Very common problem, right? One thing. Second thing is nothing but second, just observe this terminology well. So, have you took Stephanie tire or not? Can you please cross check? Because the reason is, while traveling, tire got punctured. Then it's a very horrible. If it is the bike, no problem. If it is the car, very horrible. If the Stephanie is not there, then what we have to do? We have to leave the car there only, and we have to took that under near city we have to travel, and we have to go for another coming back until that whether car is secured or not. N number of problems will come into the picture. That's why, can you please cross check whether Stephanie wheel or not, Stephanie tire or not, like, yes, dad, it is there, not required to worry. Like, if I'm not checking at the beginning, problem is at runtime is nothing but like, okay, this is, don't take water anywhere outside, better to take mineral water bottle only, or otherwise, so please bring the bottle from the house only. Like, if the father is going to check at runtime, I won't face any problem. Are you getting? These kind of things the father can check. These things are by default considered as what? Checked exceptions, right? It doesn't mean tire punctured exception doesn't occur. It not occurs. Maybe a chance. Can you please prepare mentally with Stephanie? Stephanie is nothing but like the father is asking. So, diesel complete exception not happen. Maybe a chance. Then can you please prepare mentally how to handle? So, at the beginning, if the father is going to check, at runtime, my execution of the program will be very smooth. Such a type of exceptions are by default considered as what? Checked exceptions, right? Any doubt about this one? Suppose here the father may ask, while traveling, suddenly some accident happened, so you gone, then how you can handle? If the father is going to ask that early morning 4 o'clock, just before starting this type of question, if the father can ask, even we can't see the father, we will give left and right. because the father can't ask this one. Are you getting? But there may be a chance, boss. There may be a chance every day. So there are several people are dying in the accidents. Maybe a chance, but the father should not ask, because the reason is very rarely occurred exceptions. Are you getting? Very rarely occurred exception. So accident exception is nothing but checked or unchecked. Unchecked. If it is a checked exception, why these many accidents are happening? Are you getting? Okay, this is, it is not checked, it is unchecked exception. We can't expect that accidentally it is happening. We can't expect that. Okay, this type of thing is nothing but unchecked exception, right? Are you able to understand what is checked, what is unchecked? You have to get complete picture in your mind. Then the remaining things will become easy for you, right? Next, one more last example. With that, I can finish this terminology, right? You know, suppose you assume in your house there is a big function is going to be scheduled. So another 1 week span. So there is a big function is there. Function is going to be scheduled, right? Okay. Now your father is responsible to arrange all the activities. But suddenly your father got some urgent work. He required to travel somewhere. He will be come back only on function day. Then what your father did is nothing man. Your father called you. Arey, can you please come? I require to travel to Delhi. So you are responsible. Can you please take the responsibility for all these function activities? So this is money. If you want, then contact accountant. Accountant will provide how much you require. No problem at all. Can you please take each and everything very much care? Because almost I invited several guests. Maybe a chance of problem. That's why can you please is nothing but take special care. Like your father first time in your life, he gave the opportunity for leading this activity, right? Then you felt very happy. Dad, not required to worry. Happily you can go to Delhi. I will take care. I will take care each and everything. Not required to worry at all. Like you gave the word to your father. Father felt very happy. What your father did is, he called his father. Are you getting? That is your grandfather. Your father called his father. Hey father, can you please come? Like he is your grandfather. Then your father is telling, Dad, I gave complete responsibility for my kid. So he is not having experience. Whether he is doing activities properly or not, can you please monitor? If he is not doing any activity properly, please guide. Please guide. Still if he is not listening, then make a phone call to me. I will give left and right to this kid. Is nothing but like so for monitoring purpose, your father arranged his father is nothing but at corner. Are you getting? So this is because in our functions also, white haired people are always sitting in the corner and observing the things because they have experience in that style. Okay, this is in these areas, right? Then your grandfather observing. You got first time in your life. So leadership activity, right? Almost you are flying in the air. Do that, do this, that, like you are flying in the air. Then your grandfather observed that, he felt very happy. Yes, this kid is doing good, like. Then after some time, suddenly your grandfather, Arey, can you please come, like. Durga, can you please come, like. Then I went there. Durga, have you preparing the dinner, all the things properly, right? Like, perfect, like. Now I have one doubt. For how many members, you prepared dinner? You are preparing the dinner for how many members, like? Then immediately I told my answer is exactly 452 members, grandpa, like I told. Then immediately my grandpa gave left and right. Arey, exactly 452 members. How you got that number? Like my grandpa asked. Grandpa, because I distributed exactly 452 cards. Are you getting? Invitation cards. That's why I'm expecting 450. Somewhere disturbing. Exactly. So 452 cards I issued. That's why I'm expecting 452 members, like I told. Then immediately, okay, grandpa asked. Okay, Arey, suppose you gave invitation card to your friend. While coming, your friend bring his parents also. Then are you going to stop this invitation only for you but not for your parents? Are you going to stop like that? Oh, grandpa, I can't. Then there may be a chance of count more than 452. Then insufficient dinner exception occurs. There is a possibility. In the functions, it is a very common problem. Very common problem. Insufficient dinner exception occurs. How you can handle? How you can handle? Can you please let me know? Is nothing but like the grandpa asked. Reasonably correct. It's a very common problem. If a minimum 100 functions are happening, 70 functions this type of problem is there. Is nothing but like, then what we have to do? Then immediately, what? Grandpa, can you please tell the solution? Reasonable. Can you please guide me? Then, 452 members, right? Prepare for 500 members. Prepare for 500 members. Is nothing but prepare. If for 500 members, okay, if more than that there, max 500, then no problem at all. Like, then immediately I instructed all cook catering department saying, not 450 to 500 members. Can you please prepare dinner? Like, runtime function started. Do you know 2 hours? At that day, 487 members came. 487 members came. Can you tell, is my program is in a position to handle or not? Yes. That's what, if a compiler is going to check at the beginning, so exception, right? Are you getting? Happily my program will be smooth. So, insufficient dinner exception occurs. Is it a checked exception or unchecked exception? Checked or unchecked? Checked exception, right? Clear for all of you, right? Okay, this is. Suppose, assume there is one, your grandpa, after some time, your grandpa called. Can you please come once, like? Then immediately, so you went. Then grandpa asked. Grandpa, so you went for colorful lighting, all these things. There may be a chance of short circuit exception occurs. All the people who came for the function got died. How you can handle? Is the grandpa can ask this type of thing? By mistake, if grandpa asked this type of thing, I will give left and right to grandpa and intimate to your father saying, grandpa is asking this one, what I have to do, like. Are you getting? Fire accident exception may be a chance. Maybe a chance. In the functions, maybe a chance. But how many times it is going to be happen? Out of 1 crore, 1 or 2 times. Such type of rarely occurred exceptions we are not required to check. Are you getting? We are not required to check. These kind of exceptions are by default considered as what? Unchecked exceptions, right? Oh, complete examples I covered. Now I hope in your mind what is checked, what is unchecked clear. What is the advantage of if compiler checked some exception, advantage also you know. So can you tell at the summary what is checked exception? The exceptions which are checked by compiler for smooth execution of the program at runtime are called checked exception. Example, file not found exception. Next, file not found exception. Next, all ticket missing exception, pen not working exception. Like the exceptions which are not checked by compiler, whether programmer handling or not. These exceptions are by default considered as what? Unchecked exception, bomb blast exception, arithmetic exception, null pointer exception. These are unchecked exceptions, right? Clear for all of you, right? Now, first point, whether the exception is checked or unchecked, compulsory this exception should occur at runtime only. There is no chance of occurring any exception yet compile time. Compiler is nothing but syntactical mistakes. Syntactical mistakes what we are doing is nothing but like, okay, at this point. Yeah. Note first one. Note whether it is checked or unchecked. Whether it is checked or unchecked, every exception occurs yet. Whether it is checked or unchecked, every exception occurs yet. Every exception occurs yet. Whether it is checked or unchecked, every exception occurs yet. Every exception occurs yet. Runtime only. Every exception occurs yet runtime only. There is no chance of occurring any exception. There is no chance of occurring any exception. There is no chance of occurring any exception. Yet. There is no chance of occurring any exception yet. There is no chance of occurring any exception yet. Compile time. There is no chance of occurring any exception yet. Compile time. That's all. So point number 1 is the clear. Second one, legend this one. Sir, here in the last session somewhere I took exception hierarchy. Have you remember? Which class acts as the root and throwable? 1 minute, legend, throwable. And the throwable class contain exception is there. And what is the second class? Error is there. Error is there. In that exception, there are several child classes are there. Runtime exception. For the runtime exception, arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, class cast exception, next index out of bounds exception, array index out of bounds, several. Next here IO exception is there. Have you remembered same diagram only I cover IO. For the IO, can you tell which are there? IO exception, child classes ana EOF exception, file not found exception, file not found exception, interrupted IO exception, interrupted IO exception like, okay, interrupted IO exception like. Next one after that, interrupted exception. Do you know interrupted exception is the child of exception only. Interrupted exception, servlet exception, remote exception, like. There are several. We covered this diagram somewhere in the last class. For the error also, there are several things are there. VM error and stack overflow error, stack overflow error, out of memory error, out of memory error. Next and after that exception in initializer error, assertion error, Now among all, which are checked and which are unchecked, compulsory you should be. Just observe, think a bit logically, don't remember the conclusion. Sir, here have you observed? Error. In the last class somewhere we covered. Most of the times errors are not caused by our program. These are due to lack of system resources. So errors are non-recoverable. Sir, if out of memory error occurs, being a programmer, we can't do anything. The program is going to be shut down. The program will be terminated abnormally. Being a programmer, we can't do anything, right? Correct, Anna? Now, if the compiler can ask, if the compiler will ask, boss, there may be a chance of out of memory error. How you can handle? Can you please let me know? If the compiler can ask like this, if the compiler will ask, I will give left and right. Handling error is my responsibility. No, I am not responsible for that. These are due to lack of system resources. Being a programmer, what I can do? Being a programmer, what I can do? It's not my job. It's not my responsibility. Then automatically, so that's why these are checked or unchecked. Unchecked. Compiler should not ask how you can handle error. Suppose mother can ask, array all ticket missing exception occurs, how you can handle? Or pen not working exception occurs, how you can handle? These type of things mother can ask. Array, so your invigilator not came exception, invigilator absent exception came, how you can handle? If the mother can ask this type of thing, because if invigilator absent, is my responsibility to handle that? No, my management is going to take care. Why I have to worry about that? Is sir, if error occurs, programmer not responsible, my system admin or server admin is responsible. That's why in the case of errors, how you can handle, compiler never going to ask the programmer, right? That's why these are checked or unchecked. Unchecked exceptions, right? All errors are unchecked. Next, runtime exception and it's a child class. Note, I mean second note. Runtime exception, single word, runtime exception and its a child classes. Runtime exception and its a child classes. Runtime exception and its a child classes. And it's a child classes. Next, comma, error and its a child classes. Error and its a child classes. Error and its a child classes are. Error and its a child classes are unchecked. Error and its child classes are unchecked. Error and its child classes are unchecked. Except these remaining are. Except these remaining are checked. Except these remaining are checked. So which are unchecked, which are checked, you people should have clarity. Or what is the meaning of unchecked, meaning of checked? Clear for all of you, right? Next, just observe, there is another point is there. Fully checked versus partially checked. In the checked only, there is another division, fully checked and partially checked. Keep subheading. Keep subheading. Fully checked, fully checked, fully checked versus partially checked. Fully checked versus partially checked. Fully checked versus partially checked. Partially checked. Fully checked versus partially checked. Partially checked. Okay. Now make sure. Take a bit special care. Sir, checked and unchecked only we are facing the problem. But what is the second category? Fully checked and partially checked, right? Simple. What is full checking? What is partial checking? Just observe. Suppose assume you went to the shopping mall. Shopping malls are there. You went to the shopping mall with your kids. Do you have the kids? Ayo. Do you have the kids? No. Soon. Okay. I mean, soon. Okay. Assume you went to the shopping with your kid. Then, so there may be a chance of security checking these days very common. Correct or not? Very common. Then security people check at you. So with a scanner, next you require to travel, walk through metal detector, scanner is there. But for your kid, security people won't check. Kid wearing the bombs and so on, very rare. That's why they never going to check the kids. Only parents are going to be checked. This type of checking is partial checking or full checking? Partial check. Regarding partially checked. Next, if you go for Shamshabad airport, international airport, I went with my kid. I require to travel to America. Assume that. Then compulsory in the airport checking should be happened or not? Yes, compulsory should be happen. Now in the airport checking, whether parent or kid, compulsory each and every person should be checked. Correct or not? Each and every person should be checked. Such a type of checking is by default considered as what? Full check. Are you getting? Parent should be checked and the kid also should be checked. This type of checking is nothing but what? Full checking. Parent should be checked, but a kid not required to check. Kid not required to check. This type of checking is called partial checking. Now observe a bit carefully. Sir, IO exception is there. Is it a checked or not? Checked. Because runtime exception and error, these categories are unchecked. Except that all the remaining are checked. Sir, IO, checked or not? Checked. All the childs, checked or not? All the chain. A checked exception is said to be fully checked if and only if all its child classes also checked. Are getting all its child classes also checked. Sir, IO exception is the checked. All its childs also checked. That's why this one is nothing but what? Fully checked exception. Fully checked. Sir, here exception is there. It is a checked. Exception is the checked because it's not under runtime. It is a checked. But some child classes are checked. Some child classes are unchecked. Are you getting? Some childs are checked, some childs are unchecked. This type of checking is nothing but what? Partial checking. Observe the terminology clearly. Sir, full check, partial check. I hope you people can able to identify the difference right at this point. A checked exception is said to be. A checked exception is said to be fully checked. A checked exception is said to be fully checked. A checked exception is said to be fully checked. Fully checked. If and only if. A checked exception is said to be fully checked if and only if. If and only if all its child classes are. If and only if all its child classes also checked. If and only if all its child classes also checked. All its child classes also checked. All its child classes also checked. Example. IO exception. Next, interrupted exception. Sir, only parent is there, no child. It's always fully checked only. Interrupted exception. Interrupted exception is the fully checked. Interrupted exception. Okay, like clear, right? Okay, this next second. A checked exception is said to be. A checked exception is said to be partially checked. A checked exception is said to be partially checked. partially checked, if and only if. A checked exception is said to be partially checked if and only if some of its child classes are, if and only if some of its child classes are unchecked. 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 Example. Can you give an example? Exception. Some of its child classes are unchecked. Exception. Next, second example. Throwable. Some child classes are unchecked. Some child classes are checked. Throwable. Okay. That's all. Take a note. Sir, can you tell any 3 partially checked exceptions? Just now 2 I spell out. One is exception, the other one is throwable. Third one, can you tell? Yes, already there on the board. Already there on the board. I can able to see. Already there on the board. Third partially checked exception, other than exception and throwable. Already there on the board. Servlet exception is fully checked because it is checked. If any child is there, checked only, because this area is checked area only, fully checked. Interrupted exception we listed already. Checked exception, fully checked exception. Third one is there. Error is unchecked, because fully checked and partially checked applicable only for checked, not for unchecked exceptions. Yes. Getting the point? Which are checked, which are partially checked, which are fully checked and partially checked. I mean partially checked. Any 3 partially checked exceptions. Runtime exception is unchecked. Runtime exception and its child classes are unchecked. Next, error and its child classes are unchecked. Okay, don't break your heads. Use the word note. The only possible partially checked exceptions in Java are, the only possible partially checked exceptions in Java are, the only possible partially checked exceptions in Java are, the only possible partially checked exceptions in Java are: first one exception, second one throwable, first one exception, second one throwable, that's all. Okay, third one is not there. Okay, exception, second one throwable, that's all, because all the remaining are either fully checked or partially, either fully checked or unchecked, that's all. Partially checked exceptions in Java, only 2 things are there. One is a throwable, second one is what? Exception. Are you able to understand that? Okay, this is, make sure you people should aware. So checked, unchecked, partially checked, fully checked. Now you have clarity, right? Now I will give some list of exceptions. You have to describe the behavior, whether it is checked or unchecked, fully checked or partially checked. Yeah, better to take bit style. Describe the behavior of following exceptions. Describe the behavior of following exceptions. Describe the behavior of following exceptions. Okay, sir, first one, better to take this list first and then we will decide. Take this list. Take. So completed, right? So that we will discuss. So which are checked, which are unchecked, which are partially checked, which are fully checked, like. IO exception, runtime exception, interrupted exception, error throwable, arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, like. Are you getting the point, right? Okay. Sir, IO exception. Can you tell, is it fully checked or partially checked first? Checked or unchecked? Checked. Within bracket, is it fully checked or partially checked? Fully checked. Yes, IO, fully checked. Okay, spell out in that style. Checked, fully checked. Sir, runtime exception, checked or unchecked? Runtime exception, unchecked. Like. Sir, interrupted exception, checked, but fully checked or partially checked? Fully checked. Checked, fully checked. Next, error, checked or unchecked? Unchecked. Error, unchecked. Next, throwable, checked, within bracket, partially checked. Better to spell out, partially checked. Arithmetic exception, checked or unchecked? Arithmetic exception, unchecked. Null pointer exception, unchecked. Same, unchecked. Next, exception, checked, within bracket, partially checked. Partially checked. Next, file not found exception, checked, within bracket, fully checked. File not found, fully checked. That's all. Are you able to understand, right? So this is what you people should require. What is the difference between checked, unchecked, partially checked, fully checked, right? Now the terminology is clear. If you are able to understand, now the next things will become very easy for you, right? Okay, this is, so that's what you have to remember well.